What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in here on the Reject Rundown, man. Let's talk about it Tuesday. We got a lot of stuff to discuss, man. We were doing the UFC live on Saturday. We didn't get to do the rundown for sure last Friday. So some of the stuff we're going to be discussing kind of carried over because let's talk about it, man. We've been missing out a little bit here. Missing out a little bit. I wanted to add some wrestling stuff, but too much going on in MCU. It seems like most of the stuff is going on, but other news. Let's put it that way. Old man, say what's up to the peeps, man. Can't do this alone, of course.
How's it going, everybody? It's me, Old Man RJ. Just happy to be here on a tornado watch day, which is very
Ah,
interesting what's going on out there. It's
yes,
ugly,
indeed.
very ugly.
Very ugly. So those are here in the northern Chicagoland area and stuff. Please be safe. Drive safely. Border Wisconsin too as well. It seems like it's hitting around this area quite a bit. This is like the second time in a month, I think.
Yeah,
Right? Just about a
it
month.
came back
Well,
with the vengeance. It was like,
it's
what did I miss? I'm gonna go back and get some more.
pretty much, man. But it's trying to do around this time frame of the year. But oh well. All right, guys, we got a lot to discuss, man, because a lot of crazy things been popping off right now. But first things first, coming soon. I know I dropped this off on our media post, and everyone's actually pretty excited. It seems like we're getting a RoboCop series. Everybody, coming to Amazon Prime. Looks like they are developing a RoboCop series, and to say the least, I'm pretty happy about this. I don't think it's necessary to drop a movie, even though we got one movie that came out early 2000s, or I want to say mid 2000s, and didn't really receive well to the critics. I did watch the film. I wasn't mad at it, but I, it didn't beat the original. I put it that way. The original was the better hand. So I would say with this one particularly, if they are going to do the TV series, let that go back to how it looked like in the 90s. Give us some 90s look of it. Give us that old style type of futuristic look in a sense or whatnot, and bring it to life during Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? Let it do in the series and give us a good, I think, oh man, I think a good 8-episode setup will be perfectly fine, for this, because it feels like you got to be dramatic because obviously it's a cop of a law. You know what I mean? The first season is going to be how we ended up becoming RoboCop, right? So
What if
obviously,
he already is RoboCop?
maybe, maybe, you know what I
Because I
mean?
think
Like,
we already know the backstory. So
true,
why not? It just takes over right where he's already been RoboCop for a minute now.
for a good while. Like in the first episode, it's like nothing but news reporting about how he became like a kind of a good 5-minute clip. The build up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Like, just
gotcha.
it explains of how he got to where he's at, and I think that would be better because we already, like, a lot of people have seen his story,
Hmm.
so it's best to start off with, probably him trying to figure out like a murder or something,
Okay,
taking on
I'm
the
not.
machine empire.
I'm not mad at that. No, I'm not mad at that at all. That's a decent idea right there. I would have, what I mean, I would have probably put it out there for those. My sense, if for those who are not too familiar with RoboCop per se, and some of them wanted an actual
Flashbacks.
like flashbacks. You know what I mean? Obviously, yeah, the flashbacks. The first season doing the flashback. His case that he's going after now is trying to figure out, this big drug lord, of course, that's kind of going about and trying to put him down. And as he's figuring this out and investigating this situation, he ends up finding out that these are the same people that were involved in his incident, which ends up turning, them making him into a RoboCop. So that's where he begins his flashbacks and all that kind of stuff. And we get to see all that throughout basically the series, throughout the episodes. So I feel like that would probably be the good entertainment part. Keep it ground level, keep it simple. You know what I mean? Keep it there. We ain't got to get all these extra graphics and everything like that or whatever. But I would do it like that in the beginning, first season for sure. And then if they want to, all right, well, what can we do to invest more? Hey, keep the budget around the same, just in case. Keep the story simple enough. That'll be more ground level. Obviously, more explosions probably in the second season, but in essence, you want to keep it like that for sure. So I'm excited for it. I'm not too mad at it. I like these Amazon Prime series that's coming about. I watched The Boys, Invincible, Reacher that they got going on right now. So I'm I'm okay with these Amazon Prime episodes. Are you watching anything on Amazon Prime that's a Prime original?
No, because I've been stuck playing 2K for the moment. I think the last show I watched was I forgot what I watched, man. I'm gonna try to catch up on Daredevil. I
Mm.
wanna actually start trying to watch Mandalorian. I finished all of the reason why I haven't watched much things is because I've been to watch the living crap out of Stranger Things. So
Oh, I
I
gotcha.
finished that one.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like if it catches my eye, I'll probably sit down and watch it as much as I can.
Yep.
I know I want to catch Mandalorian because I'm way behind on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Way behind.
so and then I'll probably jump onto the boys and see what that's about. Especially
Okay.
because the guy that I think should, at first I thought he would be good Batman, but now that I see it, I'm like, nah, he's not really. I don't know, something doesn't give me the vibe of Batman. Even though he does a good voiceover, he's done voices of him as Batman, but he just
Oh, you
something just
you
doesn't click.
you're talking about Atwell or something like that. I think is his name.
Yeah,
Something Atwell.
he's
Okay.
he's Soldier Boy in the show
Yeah.
The Boys.
Right. 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 Yeah. He's a freaking. I'm not gonna lie. When he came out in that series for Soldier Boy, man, that was actually a shocker to say the least. How his character development ended up turning out to be. And yeah, that's what I mean. Like when I saw that, I'm like, I don't know if he's for a Batman right now. I don't think he. Maybe for a TV show, Batman. For one of those little CWs that that came out in the past. Like if they would have dubbed him to portray the character for freaking Batman, and then let him run the character for a good while, I don't mind that one. But yeah, I don't know about the movie theaters.
No, you need somebody who has a presence. Like
Yep,
one, he has to be somebody that can disappear and people wouldn't believe it. Two, he
exactly.
can't really attract attention, so you're not gonna want somebody who's like who if he's out of the mask, is gonna catch somebody like, hey, he looks like he could have been Batman.
Right, right, exactly.
So
Maybe not.
uh,
Okay, we'll
I'm
get
thinking
into it,
the
man.
guy from yeah. But yeah, I think some of the shows I want to see is those. I do want to catch up on like if RoboCop comes out. I want to see if they try to bring in the Terminator, at least see like an ideal of the Terminator existing in those worlds.
Yeah, I think that would be something cool like to kind of see if there would have some interaction. If I'm not mistaken, Arnold said he's gonna be diving back into some of these characters, especially like the Predator, for sure. And then obviously right now, I think they're filming or they're creating in production wise of King Conan. So um I want to say that's what's happening right now with the rest of the projects that he's been involved with. So that would be something intriguing, like finally give the fans something of that nature. Like we've been like, we have aliens and predators. Let's finally get, RoboCop and Terminator, finally get into it with each other and stuff like that. Some type of knock. Like what would be, I would say RoboCop be the after effect of what happens in Terminator. You know what I mean? Like let
What if
these T100s or whatever case to be the old models, and then RoboCops and all these other high tech stuff. This is the future from that timeline.
what I would do is what if RoboCop was the idea that the prototype of the T-800.
Okay.
So, but somebody perfected that robo. Like somebody, let's say someone did a RoboCop before,
Mm-hmm.
and then they perfected it with this version. Like they were trying to create one, they failed, and then they created this one.
Gotcha. Interesting.
But yeah,
Interesting.
let's keep going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see how that one rolls. See how that rolls out. All right, y'all. Next thing, we got a nice little trailer for Punisher. I think the little special skit that they're doing or whatnot. That's gonna be popping off. And I'm not gonna lie, man, the trailer looked really good. It's called One Last Kill. I do want to say that this got me hooked, man. I was excited when I found out that John was going to be part of the producers and part of the writers in there to develop this storyline for the Punisher. And I'm like, I want to see what they're allowing him to do, what type of stuff they're going to allow him to get in there and put it on the screen. And watching it, man, it looks really intense. Like it gives me a lot of those old school, not old school vibes, but gives me that Sicario type of vibe when you watch Sicario film. It gives me that kind of vibe with it. And I'm like, man, this gonna be a shocker. And to say the least, though, man, if you didn't know, the timeline of it is gonna be right where it needs to be because Born Again season 2 is obviously right now airing. So what's gonna happen is Born Again season 2 is gonna finish off. Then obviously Punisher one last kill is gonna come out afterwards. And then Brand New Day we will get in theaters. So it's gonna then Brand New Day comes in third. So it's gonna be placed right in between season part 2 of Born Again, and then right before Brand New Day. So now we kind of get to see the interaction and how maybe Spider-Man knows of Punisher, knows of Frank Castle. So
Apparently, I heard that Sony is not going to allow Spider-Man to be part of the show.
yeah, man, like that's another thing that came out or like sometime some reports were coming out like Sony saying no to Spider-Man being, on TV shows and stuff like that. Like what? Uh
But what if that's all it is?
I mean, I hope I hope
Because
it is.
imagine if people knew that he was, it makes it more like, oh, well, to me, I think it's best to know that he is because of the fact that if you're aware that Spider-Man is going to show up on a Disney Plus show, it's going to get people to turn and watch. That's why I'm like,
Right.
I'm surprised Disney, that the people behind Disney or the people behind Marvel
Correct.
or the people behind Sony are not thinking that. But then
Right.
again, I think they don't want Spider-Man near Marvel characters because I don't know if they gain anything for Spider-Man making an appearance.
It maybe that could be the case, man. Which is, I think that's why we're happy. I know we had that talk before, where it's like, where, where does their ownership of the name and all that kind of stuff, where does it stop, and where do they actually get the credit, and what type of percentage of the credit do they get when these type of projects end up happening? Which sucks because it's like, if man, to make a buzz around your own company, that's something that you would want to do. You would want to allow that type of situation to happen because now it's going to generate buzz back in your own company, in the sense of saying, we're the good guys here. We're allowing Spider-Man to do this and that, and we're developing other stuff as well too. So please, like, come back and see, especially right now. If you if if after the fact, remember we had this talk about you announcing that you're talking about rebooting the spinoff, you know, series of villains or whatever case would be that you did before. If you were talking
And
about all
totally
of that,
failed on.
yeah, that you totally failed on. Like if you were talking about and announcing that you are planning on the rebooting, wouldn't you want to be in the good graces of the fans? You already ended up being the bad graces of the fans because of the movies that you pushed out there for us and didn't add a Spider-Man whatsoever in any of the films. So it's
I
like,
think that's where they failed the most is that these would have been a lot better, these films, if they would have been more of a crime show and you're like watching, kind of like, you're following Robert De Niro, he's doing all these crimes.
right.
Then you have Al Pacino in the background,
Yeah.
and they finally meet at the end. Well, they meet like twice, I believe, but at the end they
Right.
finally had their little shoot down.
Yep.
That could have been the same thing with these movies with Sony and all that. What if they would have portrayed the villains as they are villains? You get their
Mm-hmm.
origin story, they become villains. But at
Yeah.
the end, it's like at the end is when Spider-Man finally shows up and takes them down.
Yeah. So you
And you
shouldn't
could
have
have
done.
had Andrew Garfield. Yeah,
Should have done that. Exactly. Andrew Garfield. You should add Andrew. Like, didn't make no sense to me that you didn't add Andrew Garfield. Maybe Tobey Maguire. I understand why you wouldn't picked him, but Andrew Garfield would have been the perfect person to have him more involved in what's going on with these films. The perfect person at this point. Like the fans love him again after the whole, freaking multiverse or whatever Spider-Man 1. And then now all of a sudden, um, you finally got the good heat from that. So now it's like, all right, let's now evolve him more, have him visualize again as Spider-Man. Like, been perfect line. We didn't need to have a Spider-Man movie per se, but you having him in those movies and then him just jumping in here and there. Come on, please, just to make more sense. So hopefully, we'll see what happens. Maybe on a good day, on an actual good day, we do get a surprise appearance on there, right? We do get a surprise appearance. Maybe that ends up happening, but it seems like the case is what's everything in lining up, old man, is that at the end of season 2 of Daredevil, it seems like Daredevil is gonna end up going to jail, to prison. He ends up in prison during this time frame of Punisher. Punisher ends up, turning good to help out a little bit more now that Daredevil's missing, and then Born Again, no, a Brand New Day comes in, and hence why we've seen Spider-Man at the jail cell against the Hand, and it seems like he could be trying to free Daredevil, and with the assist from Punisher as well. So maybe there's that 3-way collaboration there, possibly. Who knows?
Which
But
could make sense on that whole situation where there's a fight that was going to go on. That
yep,
fight that was going on, and they're like, there's two mysterious figures helping them out, and it's like either one's a Hulk, and the other one might be the Punisher or Daredevil.
or that too.
Remember,
Exactly.
Punisher doesn't even have to be at the fight scene. Remember in that one fight
Right.
that Daredevil had, Punisher was like killing people up while he was sitting in the roof somewhere.
Right. Exactly. Because
Sniping them.
he's the sniper. He's the sniper guy. He's the smoking gun. He's the last resort type of deal. So yes, even that's badass. You know who I would love to see face to face? Now talking about it, I would love to see Punisher and Hawkeye face to face. Brenner
That'd
and
be good.
John. Yeah, them two like face to face like that. I would love to see them, especially now that you got the TV shows happening. Like those guys going head to head in New York. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. All right,
Well, I
on to the
think
next thing.
that would be
Go ahead.
interesting because I think one is a shield guy. No, go ahead. I was just gonna say one is a shield guy, so it'll be interesting to see how it turns out if they were to face each other.
True. See.
But yeah, let's keep going because we got too much to
Yes,
talk about.
I know. Keep it on this whole talk right now. What's going on? Because it seems like this also hit the news media. Everybody, that freaking Mr. Cage himself, on obviously the actor, I can't remember the actor's name. My apologies, the butcher. The actor himself posted on his timeline a couple of pictures of him, the Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist himself too. And basically, it seems like it's during the filming of season 3 of Born Again. So it looks like we're going to be having a Defenders reunion on Born Again at this point right now, season 3, which I'm not mad at. I've been waiting for that since season 1. Everyone has. So for finally us getting, seeing these guys again coming back and doing for season 3, perfectly fine with that. But most importantly, it looks like we could be getting Mr. Cage going for mayor. And I guess that ends up happening what's going on with Fisk, obviously, because there's going to be some issues there. So if we see Cage going for mayor, man, Cage is going to need your vote. He is definitely going to need y'all vote over there in New York City. So stay tuned for that one. I'm excited for it. I'm waiting to see Jessica Jones. She hasn't appeared yet, and I'm waiting to see her right now. So who's to say? Who's, what's happening here? Maybe another thing is too, old man, in the comics, Jessica Jones and, Luke Cage actually get together, end up having a baby. And at this point right now, what if that happened already during this whole time frame? Why they've been on the quiet in a sense? Maybe that's probably also going down. But if you remember, if you were to watch the Luke Cage series, at the end of his series, he became the kingpin in a sense. He took over the gangs and stuff like that of who he was fighting against for quite some time. He became in charge and basically kind of, in a sense, using the gangs for good in a way, or at least kind of the image of I'm the head boss now. Let's see who stops me type of person, which I want to know what the hell happened with that story, because that was actually shocking to me, to say the least.
Well, that's the thing because I think these are all reboot shows, aren't they?
Mm, which ones?
All the Daredevil and all that. I think they're all reboots.
What are you talking about? The Netflix ones?
No, the Disney ones.
Oh, the Disney. So
Yeah.
the Disney show of Born Again not is not necessarily a reboot. It is a continuation. It's a continuation of what
Oh, okay.
happened during the Netflix series. So it seems like what they were trying to do in the beginning was make Daredevil into a reboot. They were trying to basically say, let's reboot everything. But fans didn't like it. Fans obviously uproared against it. And then all of a sudden it turned into, well, okay, fine. We'll kind of just piggyback off of what occurred, but we're not going to give full details of everyone's names, like the Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and stuff like what happened before. We're not going to try. We're going to try to do something different. But fans, again, the voice matters. We kept saying it's best to just continue with it. It wasn't the stories weren't bad. It's just the direction of where they were going. And now that you're finally on Disney Plus platform, you just got to make it mesh well. That's all we wanted. And sure enough, I think that's what they've been slowly doing with these Born Again series. So it's not necessarily a reboot, it's an actual continuation. It's just they're doing it step by step for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So be aware, man. Be
thinking.
aware.
Uh, I shall be aware.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. Let's let everyone else be so. Ah, other thing, old man, is I guess Mr. Ryan Reynolds is making some noise over there in Disney, at least in the MCU line against probably Kevin Feige, and really hyping up the fact that he wants to make a fourth Blade movie. Okay, fourth Blade movie, and basically giving Wesley Snipes his last ride. I mean, do we need
Say
it
why
really?
not?
I mean, well, that's the thing. Do we really need it? He was fine. You know, what we got in, Daredevil and Wolverine, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I want to see Ali as Blade already. That's what I want. If we're making a Blade movie, please make that movie. But I get why they're trying to hold off for obviously Midnight Suns. They're trying to make it where all the characters that they were talking about putting into one movie in a sense for Midnight Suns. But I would have preferred give me a Blade, give me that Blade. Now, us getting this type of Blade movie right now, I don't know, man. I don't know if Wesley Snipes has it in him to carry a whole movie like that.
Well, if he's gonna be old Blade, it won't hurt him then, because him being a little older means that who knows what happened and how he became. Probably with him being that night daywalker type of thing. Probably he
Uh huh.
ages as as time goes by.
True.
So it could help that now that he's older, he's probably a little slower. The moves are a little bit not there, and probably it's just that's why it's called one last ride.
True. True.
And if it's one last ride, might as well give us what we wanted when he was Blade. That's Morbius,
Yeah. Yeah. Like finally having a final face off between those two. Yeah, that would make
and it
sense.
doesn't have to come out in theaters. It could be one of those like Disney Plus exclusive films.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm not gonna lie. When I was just like saying everything, I'm like, if they were to make it a Disney Plus solo, special film type of deal, like on a Halloween type of release or whatever case to be, I wouldn't be mad at that one too. And then bring all the nostalgia characters if you can, if possible. And then yeah. Now the other thing is Morbius though. Morbius has to be the Sony has to okay Morbius, which right now, if they're talking about rebooting, then I don't know if they'll get the okay. That'll suck.
I
Could
think
they
they
get
can because
go ahead. Yeah,
Morbius, even though he's a spider, he's not totally a Spider-Man villain. I think Morbius has always been a Blade villain, but he crosses paths with Spider-Man a lot. So I think that if they got the rights, if Marvel bought the rights to Blade, that means that they might have had the rights to Morbius, but
tr-
I'm not sure yet. We
True.
have to see who Morbius belongs to.
Right. That's another thing too. And the other thing is, why not go against Dracula again? Maybe do it, but this time do it better.
A different Dracula.
Exactly a different one, because that last one, I don't know, you know, it looked very funky. But I don't know. It is what it is. If this actually ends up happening, I'm gonna watch it just because Wesley Snipes did a good job with Deadpool Wolverine, which I preferred him. Well, I never understood why. Which I gotta look this up. I don't understand why he never had his blade, actually, his sword. Why he never carries his sword in that one? He just had his little katana thingies. I want to see what the hell happened with that.
Probably because sitting down on the chair is a little tough to sit down with a big ass blade behind them
True,
in the car.
could be. Well, I know you guys are probably looking at the screen right now and wondering what the hell is this. I just got to put it out there, man. This is definitely, let's talk about it. Because Caleb, let's talk about this, man. Why? Over the weekend, okay, there was a lot of reports happening, especially here in the Chicagoland area. Our head of the NFL team right now, of our own NFL team here, Mr. QB of ours, the future of our franchise, was seen with the Jenners, hanging out, having a good time. And I'm here to say, Mr. Caleb, stay away. Do not do it. I don't know if anybody in your circle said, nah, man, this ain't a good idea. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people are saying it now. And looking at the posts of all that stuff was happening, everybody on that post was saying, no, run away, leave, which in essence, I don't think you're dating either one of them, because if I'm not mistaken, I think both of them are in a relationship. I think the one on the left, I don't even. Okay, Kendo must be the one on the right, the skinny one. The one that got all that work done is on the left, which I think she's the one that's dating Timothy Chalamet. So obviously you can't be dating her. Kendo, I think, has a relationship too as well, which I'm not positive. But if you're gonna be interested, don't do it, bro. Just don't do it. Look at all the
What if
athletes.
he?
Go ahead.
I mean, people. My opinion is he probably just bought the bit ticket he bought ended up being right between them.
Could have been. You might have been right. Could have been. He probably
That's
ended
my
up
take
down.
because
Yeah.
look at the fact that everybody who bought tickets, you're not gonna get like a small section of what the grass I believe you were sitting on. So
Something
you
like
really
that.
think you're gonna buy a section of grass for you and your friends to sit at? No, I think
True.
everybody had to pay for their chairs or something. I think that's what might have happened, unless they were all invited by the same person and they just happened to sit next to each other.
That's another thing too. You might be right. Well, at least I would say I'm gonna hope you're right, because
Because
to
ain't he
me,
married too?
huh?
Ain't he married also?
Caleb? No, I don't think so. I think he's
Yeah, I
single.
think he has a girlfriend. He's married. Let me check.
I don't know, man. He might have a model girlfriend, but last time I think we heard, he was single and ready to mingle.
I'm checking out right now. Oh man, check for the record. Is
Yeah,
currently
see?
believed to be single. Oh yeah, the 2026. So him and
Shit.
his girl that he was with for a long time, they called it over.
I guess so, man. He wants to do some stuff. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. If I surely hope it's the fact that you write about that, where he went out there, he got the tickets, and their chairs was next to theirs, and they're like, oh well, hey, why don't you come over, man? You had a great season, blah blah blah. Hang out with us, have some drinks, blah blah blah. Here's this, here's that. He's probably like, oh, okay, thanks for the invite, man. Y'all cool, y'all this and that. I remember seeing you guys' TV show back on E or whatever, way back in the days when you guys were little shorties. So, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Hopefully that's the whole talk. Hopefully that was the conversation. I'm just,
I
anyways,
mean,
it
if he
did look
scored
like
with
that
both
too.
of them, I can't even be mad at that.
Well, I'm gonna be mad at it because that's bad, man. You're getting sucked in the wrong family tree, man. You're getting
Well,
sucked in the wrong family tree. Don't
well,
do
he's
it, man.
getting sucked in. I can't. I mean, who can? If that was me in that situation, I'd be happy too. I'll pay my own damn nails.
No, no, I would have been like, no, don't do it, no.
But no, I don't think. I mean, you really think that? old girl from the one under the Coachella thing. You really think she's gonna mess up what she has with a Hollywood actor who's making
I
big money, especially with Doom?
I surely hope not. I surely hope not. That's my thing. I surely hope
Yeah,
not. And at this point, it's you just gotta be careful. You gotta be careful on your surroundings, especially in Hollywood, man. You end up in the wrong circle in Hollywood, and then things end up just going down south afterwards. And that's all. I think that's what a lot of us Chicago fans are like. Just be careful, bro. Like, let's please win a Super Bowl first. And then if you want to mingle and go all that kind of go that route, fine. At least you brought a championship back to Chicago for that reason. But just be careful right now, Caleb. Man, don't get too distracted, please, please, please don't do it. Just saying. I'm looking out for you, man. I'm looking out for you. I want you to be safe. I want you to be safe. I want you to be healthy. I'm gonna be ready to roll. And this whole rumor also too of Caleb possibly being the front cover of Madden 2027. I'm not happy with that. I'm really not. I don't want it. Nobody in Chicago wants it. Not right now, please, because we all know
what's
the
next?
Madden.
He ran into a
What
black cat. He broke a mirror.
or some yes, you on the cover of Madden, my guy. That is literally the last cover you want. Don't want to be like that right in the beginning stage of your career. Don't do it. I surely hope
Especially because
not.
he hasn't won a Super Bowl or anything yet
Hell no.
for him to
Right.
risk it going into the cover of Madden.
The crazy thing was is the one of the crazy stories on those covers is the first ever Cleveland Brown front cover athlete on Madden, Mr. Peyton Hillis, was the running back, and that dude was a beast that year of a running back. All of a sudden, this next season and the next season after that just went down. His career just went down, down, down. That dude was like going to be the future for Cleveland until that cover, and then all of a sudden the following season came in horribly bad, horribly bad. So don't do it, man. It's not for you. Everybody will probably tell you we don't want that right now. Not this early in your career. Let's wait a couple years and then you can be the cover. All right. Now, on to this, man. It's actually a pretty good talk, though. Don't show me the money. Mr. Eric. Mr. Eric says, everybody. I think it seems like Disney was going to be offering him a boatload of money for him to return to his role in Malcolm in the Middle, the continuation series. But currently, right now, he is, at Harvard. He is going for his master's degree. He's studying Victorian literature. So at this point, he's sticking with school. He's saying, I'm going to stick with school. I'm going to say no to money now because more than likely, regardless, the money's still going to be there for the future. But he's going to need, he wants his school, which I'm not mad at either. Oh man, because I think we've seen a lot of actors and actresses over the years that have denied these type of big roles in the beginning, of course, or these comeback ones, where obviously the industry wants you to come back to portray the character, but they're involved too much in the school. They want to continue with it. They don't want a distraction, especially you in Harvard of all places. You can you imagine, you going and leaving there for this role and then coming back to try to do your degree, and let's say some of these episodes were a little ranchy or whatever case it be, and all of a sudden these teachers are giving you a harder time. Now everyone wants to throw a pun or a joke and kind of literally put you in a corner where you knew you didn't want to be at. So I'm not mad at it. I'm pretty. It's understandable what Eric said. No to the money. Let me stick with this. My degree. I'm right there for my master's. I'm going for it. And then afterwards, if you guys are gonna do a second season, he may take back the character. He may. Who knows? But I'm not mad at it. I'm actually proud for him saying so.
Yeah, I agree. It makes sense that he is holding back doing school, doing studies, and once he's done with all that, he always jump back and
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good. On to the next. Oh man. The other thing going on in Marvel there, Mr. Old Man, if you didn't see or heard, We could be getting more She-Hulk. We could be getting more She-Hulk because according to the TV boss over there for Marvel, um he basically went and posted out there on social media all over the world saying that She-Hulk was one of their best performing shows and would love to do more.
Best
Um
performing show.
I don't know I don't know where he got that information from. I don't know if I don't know what was he watching? What reports he was getting? But
He was
She-Hulk was
watching a cartoon from the 90s.
yeah, he probably looked at the wrong report and saw that one. I mean, because at this point, there's no way in the world was that She-Hulk TV series one of their best performing ones. It probably got views, but as far as it got well received when it comes to the critics and the fans, ain't nobody. No, 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 no. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the actress Tatiana. I'm not mad at how they did She-Hulk in general, but I am just upset in direction what they did with the series. Like it wasn't what it needed to be. It needed to be something different. And that whole thing with freaking what's her face? Megan the Stallion. Oh my god, that was wrong for it to go in that route for a viral moment. That was wrong. We didn't need that. Not from
I think what they
not from
should have
She-Hulk.
done is they should have focused on trying to make different trials, different. She's a lawyer, right? So it would have been
Exactly.
interesting if every episode had to do with her trying to solve the crime before they go to court.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, she has to get in a few scuffles and all that, but it would
Right.
have been perfect.
Yes. But all this, yeah, and I mean, come like her relationship with Daredevil and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't mad at that either. I really wasn't. It just, it just could have been better. Could have been better, and very disappointed in what it was going on with all that, and especially with the training with the Hulk. The training with the Hulk was decent, wasn't bad, but it felt like you know at some points it came a little too goofy-ish where we didn't really it didn't need to go that route either. I think the comedic role, I think they tried a little too extra, and for it to be forced, people felt, and then that's where people just didn't, we didn't really like it at that point. So, but it seems like we could be getting more. The good thing is, I think we've been always wondering, like, where is she? If since they'll have a chance to recorrect her character, how can they do that? And generally, so let's finally put her in the film industry. Let's finally put her on the big movie screen. Where does she fit? Will she be in Doomsday? Will she be in Secret Wars? Or at this point right now, I think this is probably why they're saying this information now, to kind of give us this info on a low spectrum to for us to be prepared and ready that she could be making an appearance for Doomsday or Secret Wars, which I'm not mad. I'm not mad if they does, because I wasn't. The actress did her job. She portrayed the character right. It just, this type of story just could have been better, and that's not her fault.
Or maybe
That's not
she'll
her
be
fault.
in or probably she'll end up being in Daredevil season 3.
That too. Yeah, could be. I think that's a good crossover to come back over to that one. If obviously he appeared on hers, come on hers. Like, let her be the lawyer. Let her be the lawyer to help him out. You know what I mean? Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? I agree with you that one. I agree with you. Mm. Oh man, we got a first look at what's going on with Beyond the Spider Verse. Okay, looking, it, it it's by far the best animated cartoon that's come out so far on TV. This is what's saving Sony right now. This is what literally is saving Sony's butt at this point right now, pertaining to fans loving what they're doing with Spider-Man. All right. This whole trilogy, this is what's saving it. And it's crazy to say the least. It's a spider, it's an animated flick, because obviously they want to do the most in movies and it don't end right. So at least with animated, they can do the most and it looks good. All right. So I'm just excited. I want this hurry up to drop. This movie was supposed to drop, if I'm not mistaken, this year sometime. If not this year, last year. Right?
This year.
This year. So,
I think it was supposed to drop like somewhere within November, December this year.
something like that. When was Spider-Man Beyond
The Spider Verse
Yeah. No, what? When was it supposed to?
release, the original release date.
Yeah, let's see. 2023, blah, blah, blah. Singer. No, 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 no. Right? No. Marketing. No. Release. It's scheduled for
Release schedule.
June. Yeah, see, look. The film was originally scheduled to be released in 2024, old man. 2 years ago, we're supposed to get this
Excuse
movie.
me.
Yeah. two
I
years
think
ago.
they. I think they stopped because of a long strike that happened.
Well, I felt like because the part two did so phenomenal that they're like, well, let's milk it. Let's make it longer so that way the fans will be more intrigued more, and they figured it would hype up the want more, and then all of a sudden now here we are all over the movie theaters watching it and stuff like that. It's more likely to become the biggest opening and their biggest, overall income earning of the decade for those guys. That thing that's where the whole actual plan is, my opinion, because it was supposed, if I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to release a little bit like a year later after the part two. So that's crazy. Yeah, see, but was removed from Sony's release calendar in July of 23 due to a production delay and the strike preventing voice recording work. So yeah, that was it too. Looks like supposedly, you know. But it's coming out this next year. Next year, old man. Son of a gun. Still got to wait another
Okay.
year. Yep.
We just got
Not till
another. Yeah,
2027.
but not bad because that means that they're probably setting up more stuff into the story,
Yeah, it seems
and it
like
might
it.
take longer because it's animation.
It does a lot. Yeah, animation is a lot. It's a lot of work, supposedly. Um, I want to know what's going on in the bottom right picture though, like this black and white Spider Man,
I think
because
that's the Vampire one.
it's what I want to say so too. Like, but if I'm not
He's the one
mistaken, that
that
should
told got into the finger pointing contest with the other Spider-Man.
Spider Man 2029.
2099.
Cause yeah, 2099. Cause that's his logo on his chest right there. But he's all in black and white, and
Mm-hmm.
then Miles Morales is in his colors, blue and red like that. So I wonder if because they're
Well,
crossing
Miles Morales is never blue and red like that though. It's like it looks like he got more of an upgrade to his suit.
who? Who you
Miles
talking about?
Morales,
No,
because
no, no.
this is
That's what I mean.
normally it's Miles Morales.
That's what I mean. Miles Morales is the one who's being choked in the blue and red, and
Yeah,
then Spider-Man 2099 would be the one in black and white. So something's going on, with them. Whatever, it seems like their interdimensional thing that's going on there. They're switching colors because it looks like Miles's suit has Spider-Man 2099 colors, and then somehow 2099 has black and white. Could maybe the Venom suit.
the Venom colors.
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
could be. Hey man, that'd be cool if they put that out there. What if he turns into a freaking, what if the Venom gets into him?
What if
Changes up
the
his.
Venom is actually out there waiting for his time to jump in?
Yup. Yup. That'd be dope. And this crazy part is too, like, he's the
Mm-hmm.
only Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken, that's not, he doesn't have spider powers like that. He has superhuman strength, stamina, durability, speed, agility, reflexes, accelerated healing. Oh wow. And vision. Smart as hell, genius level intellect. Yeah, his wall crawling, but he can't crawl naturally. He needs his talons and his fingers or whatever, because they have organic webbing from forearms. What? Since when? Yeah,
I don't even know.
paralytic venom in his fangs.
Oh shit.
Yep. Gliding airfoil, mastery of acrobatics and combat. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, his Spider-Man's pretty intense. His Spider-Man's pretty intense. I don't like to see that. Well, I mean, getting the first look of it, not bad. I'm not mad at it. It's okay. I'm intrigued by the show. I want to see what for sure what the movie's gonna, portray out. I want to see the freaking uh Miles as what damn it, what was that character name that they have? The Night Watcher? No. The Prowler. I think that's the bad guy's name, the Prowler. Let's see, Spider-Man. Prowler. Yeah, it was the Prowler. I was right. All right, there's that. What else we got? And then reshoots. Almost done. Almost finished over. But reshoots, man. I told you guys. If y'all didn't know, now you know, man. I told you guys that Spider-Man Brand New Day looked intense. It looked dark. It definitely looked dark. And even the little glimpse of sun right here, looking at that film and looking at some of the trailers, it's going to be a dark film. Spider-Man, Peter Parker looking all stockish, you know what I mean? Looking like he's taking in the character from Netflix, The You. And it just seems like he's not in the right mind right now. And then he's, basically going through a change at this point right now, his mutant change. And, it just looks dark. It looks intense. It doesn't look like the Peter Parker of what's it called from the high school days. So at this point, it made sense to when they said, oh, they're doing reshoots just because of humor stake or whatever case it be. It looks like some of these reshoots are to add humor to it, which I called it, man. I knew something was going to happen. I said something's up. Like people are going to complain that it's not humor enough, or it doesn't seem like it's goofy enough, and it's not right. That everyone's going to complain for it. Everyone's going to say something about it. But then those who are liking the film, it's more or less that. Don't do that. Don't sit there and like the film and say, oh, it needed more humor. Like, nah, you enjoy the film. It was good for what it was. Okay. So we don't need to be changing on that part either. I think that's one thing for sure where people got to understand it's good that you get serious in some of these movies, especially for a character like this, because let's be honest, his story is not humorous. It's very intense. It is a crazy story. His uncle died of a mugging. His Aunt May just passed away of a stabbing from freaking Green Goblin. You had to lose your name to the whole wide world because of a bad spell. Now you're all alone. No one knows you like that no more. You're starting basically fresh. So and you're watching your friends grow up, living their life, doing their thing now. And while you don't know how to cope with that. And it's like you want to come back and be friends again, but now all of a sudden you're more like you're worried that the outcome what's going to happen again. So come on, man. It's crazy. It is crazy to say the least. But don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Now, lastly, everybody, since I didn't get to do it last week with the reject rundown, I'm doing it now. Let's talk about Tuesday. The reject of the week, Mr. Ari Emanuel. Come on down. Come on down, Brusky. You are getting this week's reject of the week, okay? The reason being is because obviously you're the CEO of TKO, but somehow, some way, you have decided to put yourself in situations where it don't belong. All right, you don't have experience in this. You don't know how to run these two type of businesses, even though you think you do, because you bought some stocks. All right, you do not know how to run these type of business, because what you're doing to both of your products that are involved in this, you're washing them down, man. You're making them lackluster. You're making us fans hate you more, to be honest. All right. And the people who are also in the company right now or running the show or are trying to give good products, You ain't doing anything beneficial to him, man. If anything, you're making him more pissed off with you. All right. So, like I said, guys, he's a CEO over there at TKO, and he's evolving himself way too much where it's not needed in the companies. And obviously,
I
the
didn't
two
realize
companies
the whole
are.
time my microphone was on mute.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't. I'm like, I thought you stepped away, and I was talking. I'm like, all right, let me step. Let me let it be. He's probably used the washroom or something like that. But yeah, two companies
Good
where
going.
not belong. You had UFC and WWE, right? And obviously,
Mm-hmm.
old man, we're seeing where it's the footsteps. We're seeing the cookie crumbs that he's laying out there. The stuff, the last minute changes of what's happening in WrestleMania. It seems like we got reports that he was behind the decision of adding Tyler Scott or whatever his name is, adding him to the
Trevor Scott?
scenario. What's up?
Trevor Scott?
No, what's his Travis Scott? Travis Scott. Travis Scott.
Travis Scott, there you go.
Yeah, the rapper guy
Yeah, it's
over there with the
Travis.
whole stuff. So,
The
like
rapper Scott.
the rapper Scott guy, you know what I mean? Like he's behind the whole evolving all these characters, bringing in these streamers, bringing in these musicians and stuff like that into our storylines as the wrestlers. I didn't want to see all that, man. What? Why are you bugging, bro? Is it because the board? Do you think it's because of ESPN saying we're not getting good investment back on our return when it came to their deals? Do you feel like he's receiving pressure? Which I feel like that's what's happening
I
right
think he
now.
is, and he doesn't know how to handle it.
Don't know how to.
But that just tells you he underestimated one. I feel like he underestimated some things. One, he underestimated the fan base of what he was
Mm-hmm.
buying.
Yeah.
And two, I forget I was going with the second one, but yeah, he underestimated the fan base.
Especially for WWE.
And two,
Underestimated fan base.
he overperformed. Yeah. And then two, he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to wrestling. He's never booked a match or anything, so
Nope.
he thinks that just by doing a little bit, he could sell tickets. But his ticket prices are sadly they're nowhere near the old prices,
Right.
and they haven't sold anywhere near what these sell.
Hell no. They're still struggling right now. Even after their fifth cut, if I'm not mistaken, they're still struggling. They still really haven't sold that much.
Because everything is too damn. They won't tell you. They drop the prices. They ain't drop them that much, and that's the problem. Is they're still trying to get you for most of what they really can.
Exactly. Because even let's put it this way, man, even if they, with all that their discussion of the price cuts, even if they did drop those ticket prices down, bro, where are these people going to sleep at? Where are they going to be hanging out with? These hotel prices are not going to drop their prices just because they did. They're not going to join suit. They're going to raise their prices and say, well, we know you're here for that. So guess what we're going to do? Our normal hotel rate is 150. I'm booking that bad boy up to 250. Like, come on, man. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, it's all Monopoly. Everyone wants to play Monopoly and be like, I'm going to get boardwalk. Let me roll the dice, land it on right. Like, that's all this is. And it sucks. But it does suck that, yes, you have a good point in that he underestimated a lot of what the power of the fans had. Because right now we have all this voice power on our social media platform, doing all these extra videos, having these discussions. They're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? It doesn't make any sense. Voicing our opinions, like, this ain't sliding, bro. And with all this stuff that's going on, like, it just, no, I'm not happy with this at this point right now. I don't like the direction where WWE is going with all this, especially with WrestleMania around the corner. It literally is not going in a good place with these new additions. It's not going to make any sense, and there's no purpose to it. And it still ain't going to help with ticket sales. And in essence, it's only going to suck worse because if it fails for sure, then I'm wondering. I am really hoping that this one happened, but I'm sure we're going to see some major changes and more than likely some staffing changes after this weekend. And that may not be good. That'd be not good at all whatsoever for the company. and not just for WWE, because he's also over there for UFC. And with UFC, what they've been doing, in my opinion, actually doing really well with these pay-per-view or these events, fight night events on these weekends, on Saturdays, for sure. Every Saturday that's popping off right now on Paramount. They're doing good with that. People are intrigued by that. But also people, yes, the major complaint that they were having was just these UFC card, these UFC 300 cards. Like, why are there, more fighters here? The whole Freedom card, they had a little scuffle about that one. But listen, it's in reality, it's not bad just because of what type of fights are be put on the show. More than anything, though, it's more or less of just be careful with your ticket sales on these UFC events too, as well. They may be a problem, and this may be a problem, which they're gonna try to avoid a little bit as well.
I
So,
think that's what I think that's where he messed up. I'm thinking that he's been an owner of UFC for a while.
yeah,
Imagine if he thought that if I put the same price I put for UFC, these WWE fans are gonna come. But there's one thing underestimated is a lot of the fans that used to love to go to WrestleMania. The reason why they had 80,000, 90,000 in attendance is because you had people who were bringing their family. A lot of people took the nosebleeds because they could take their family with them. This guy underestimated that. He thought, oh well, everyone's gonna, it's WrestleMania. Everyone wants to put $200 for him, his son, his daughter, his wife.
right,
No, now the man has to decide: do I want to take me and my wife to go, or do I want to take my eldest? Who do I take with me to night one? Who do I take to night two? And then at the end, they're gonna say, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna stay at home and watch it. Save me $200. Or in some cases, save me $1,000 because I'm not paying 200 for all members of my family.
yep,
That's where he messed up because he's looking at $200 for you to sit your ass all the way at the top of the bench, at the top of the arena,
right,
and you can sit at home. You can sit at home and watch it on a square, big ass TV.
yeah, exactly. Like, that's pretty much what everyone wants to do, man. Now everyone just stay at home, chill here, and let them watch from here and stuff. I'm like, that's the crazy part, especially with WrestleMania, man. I'm just gonna sit back and chillax. Like, it's weird. It's just it's not, this whole thing. What sucks with these companies, and when it gets to the whole stock market, and they comes like this be bought out, and all of a sudden these get new people who are in charge of it. This is what happens, investors. It really does. And oh man, I think
Hmm.
I think this is what's really happening right now too, of what we're realizing and noticing, the effect to things of stockholders. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is the kind of effect that we had with WCW. If I'm not mistaken, people didn't like the direction that was going on over there. So obviously, the stockholders was getting into Ted Turner's ears, which that Ted Turner had to make rash decisions, which then he affected the outcome of the show itself. Am I wrong?
No, actually, Ted Turner never put a foot in that thing. It was all what happened there is so Eric Bischoff, I think, got laid off or he took time away. And they brought in fucking Vince Russo.
Mm-hmm.
Vince Russo thought, you know what? I carry WWE on my back. I made WWE what it is. I can do the same shit with WCW. And he was wrong, dude. He shows up. WCW went from being competition to Monday Night Raw to pretty much being NXT to WWE.
Yeah.
And then I think afterwards, Ted Turner sold WCW to um, I think AT&T,
Okay. Oh,
and the
AOL.
owners of
That's right.
AT, yeah, and they're not fans of wrestling, so
That's
they
true.
went off and said, you know what, we're just gonna sell it, and sold it
Yeah.
to Vince McMahon.
Yep.
But such a low price, they didn't even care that they had it. They're like, it's like somebody who buys a beat up car, and they're like, you know what, here, or they
Right.
buy a pretty good car that used to have beautiful value to it, and they go and sell it to somebody for so less.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more or less they just they want it off their hands. So the first
Yeah,
buyer was like, "Oh, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
let me buy it and kill it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, man. Is they made too many business decisions that ruined them money
Yeah.
wise, especially contracts that they signed. Like Hulk Hogan had a pretty good contract.
Yeah.
Nash and Hall did too.
Right.
And two, just the booking sucked afterwards.
Yeah. That's true. So it's
And TKO seems like they're going that way.
it really does. It really is looking like they're heading that direction, which is sad because man, these are two of I mean, honestly, two of our favorite companies that we love to watch on TV. And at this point, always a wrestling fan, always been. And it just seems where what we used to be to where we are now. And then UFC, same thing. What we used to be and where we are now. Like it's just it's crazy. It's crazy to say the least. So I don't know. Hope for better days. Hope for better days is all we can do. But those were tuning in. Much appreciated. We already got an hour in, man. We got to head out. It was a nice little let's talk about it Tuesday type of deal because this rain warning over here is getting darker out here for some odd reason. So we got to be careful a little bit. And call it a night. But we got to get ready for a couple more shows that's coming up week 2 as well. Right, old man?
That's right. Well, I'll probably end up doing until Thursday.
There you
Then
go.
Friday, I'm out. You
All
won't see
right.
me no more. Not until I get back.
Sounds good.
Then we'll have
Uh,
a Reject Mania recap.
exactly. Yes, got to have that, man. Because I got to ask to see how things went in the stadium, man. Definitely for sure. All right, big dog. Well, you have a good
All
night.
right, man.
We will see you guys later. Y'all stay tuned. See y'all soon.
All right.